Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
Cousins.
This is episode 336, and we finally made it to a Monday. We haven't done a Monday in a long time, right? I mean,
been a bit.
Friday, and then off, and then so this is like our
mean, if you want, you could hit the Friday button still.
It's Monday. Are you drinking tonight? Are you having a beverage? No beverage tonight.
Wawa.
Oh,
I can't say Wawa now, I guess. I realize I learned that those are like gas stations or some shit.
Oh yeah, they are. Oh, they're in Florida too. Yeah. Whenever I'm down at when we had our vacation stuff down there, that was okay. There Wawas everywhere.
Because we drive by and I'd be like, "Mama, you want a Wawa?" The kids would laugh. Kirsten would get annoyed.
Nice.
You know, normal dad stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So it's episode 336. Mm-hmm. What are we doing today? I mean, this one seems like a pretty straightforward episode, right?
Yeah. Bloomburrow is coming out here at the end of this week. So Friday
It's Friday. Friday.
I think What's today?
I think it's the first.
Maybe it's like the second or something.
Second. Right. Yeah. 30th is tomorrow. 31st.
Yeah, the set comes out, releases this next week. We're going to give you the top 10 cards from the set that we like and or think are going to be really good for Commander. This is a draft style like we normally do, but we are combining everything at this point, and that's going to be the new bit where it's going to be the legends that we like from the set. It's going to be the Commander product, the main set, anything new that they got going on, no reprints included. Otherwise, that's the bit, and hopefully, Adam. We don't steal each other's like we think that we potentially could.
We might. I like
not take Mr. Foxglove.
We'll see.
Slap you.
Shit!
With the glove.
Jay Serrator. Oh wait, no, he became a patron. I must have hit his patron stuff. I don't know. He changed his. Oh. Because it isn't a shot there, so it's just he just happened to hit his thing there. Okay, so we
have different flavors in cards.
I like this format better because we don't have to like discuss things as much, and we can do how we normally do things: is wing it.
Yeah. It's so much better when we wing it.
And anyway, the other thing is when we do the tournament stuff, like those are fun, like trying to snipe and all that stuff too. So
that's a little bit different too, though.
So all right, so then we have that, and then we jump into Stump the Smith Savant. One little quick announcement that we're gonna give a little bit of a hint here, but this little guy right here, this little Ragavan, is a potential prize, not necessarily for the current Stump, but you'll hear that when we get to that point. But one of our listeners, Tommy Olson, gave this for us to give away. So this is going to be
that's awesome.
Play.
Thank you, Tommy.
We do have Tad is the stumper for tonight. So we are on week 4. So we did add a card besides the Gaia's Cradle, foil Gaia's Cradle, proxy. We also
make that clear. It's a proxy.
It's a proxy, yes. Foil proxy, so that's kind of nice. And then the thing that we are adding is we figured it out 5 minutes before the cast, but Black Market Connections and the foil etched art. So from Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
So
that should be dope.
Yeah. So we just ordered it. So Tad, if you stump Lowry, you'll get it. Yeah, maybe get it this weekend because we do have in real life games coming up this weekend, so that'll be fun. Other than that, I think do we just kind of like get right to it because then we do our little pause thing between the two. Want to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
We can do that.
All right.
I think you're first this week. You got to hit a button though, right?
I don't have a button. Remember, it's this. Hang on, let me get to the preview.
Top 10 Commander cards of Bloomburrow.
You sound
like that?
Like a ghost.
That's the first time I've done that in years. Literal years at this point. Mouth buttons.
I was impressed there. All right,
no,
so
don't
like Lowry mentioned, this is the top 10 cards throughout the entire set. So any variants that are in the sets or the set, the commander decks, everything's in play. Commanders included. We used to separate the two, but then we had multiple weeks where we're doing similar things. Right. So we're just kind of doing this all as one.
Let's not do that anymore.
Yeah. So, but it is draft format. So Lowry doesn't know what my list is. I don't know what his list is. Lowry has 40 cards on his list, so
No. I cut it down to 25. I definitely think I like this set though. It's pretty sweet.
All right, so I'm gonna go by the chalk on this one. I'm gonna get.
Chad, get out of here. Yeah.
Urza's for life. Hell yeah. Whoops.
Get the fuck.
There you go.
Ow.
So this reverse though of drafting it makes it so I want to take the more popular ones first, you know, because I'm like, oh,
Go ahead.
so
Great.
instead of it being like,
What's you gonna do?
Great
I never
henge.
take the popular cards anyway.
Yeah, I know.
I poo-poo them because they're too expensive. So
Well, I am gonna take this one. It is the 3-tree city.
yeah, legit.
Yeah. This one because I love lands, like I love Lamp, but this one it's fantastic for tribal stuff. So it's 3 trees. It's actually the most expensive card in the set at this point. It is a legendary land. Enters the battlefield. You choose a creature type. Then you can I love all this Urza for life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, those are that's my gang right there.
Ow.
Urza for life gang. What are you looking for? You're looking for something.
Okay, kill him.
Yeah, there we go. I don't have the button selection that you have.
So it does tap for a colorless. So this is gonna go perfect in my Eldrazi, my the Asla. What was it? What is his name? Fuck, it's whatever. The commander I just built. What is his name? Anslak? No, it's
Aflac.
Aslask, right? Yeah, whatever.
Aslax.
So there's that deck is lacking some of the ones that produce the colorless, so this is kind of nice there. But the big part of this is it's the tapping 2 colorless and tapping it, choose a color, add an amount of mana that of that color to the number of creatures of the control of that chosen type. So I'm gonna choose Eldrazi and I'll be able to tap this down for like 10. You know, it's gonna be ridiculous. And if you're playing tribal decks, this has to be an auto include in all those decks. So even if it's 5 color, that's still giving you a shit ton of mana. So this is my number 1 pick.
Yeah, it's a nice twist to like Nykthos Shrine to Nyx, which is looking for the colored pips and permanents you control. But if this is like, it works with tokens, right? Yeah, so like this is going to be crazy in
it's like a fair Keldon
Merfolk,
Warlord. Yes,
elves,
I agree with
goblins, Eldrazi. Like it's just going to be bonkers in a lot of those kind of typal decks.
Yeah. Oh, look at you! You went there. But no, it's
I'm gonna actually use that. Even though it's Kindred, I'm gonna use Disciple because I know
now that
it makes you mad.
Now you know that. Well, now you know that they're not using it as Typal.
Yeah.
Now they've changed it to Kindred. So now you're gonna jump on the Typal. That's what we should do. We were not doing that for the longest time, and now that they've changed it, now let's start doing it.
Yeah.
All right. So 3-tree city. That is my first pick. Lowry,
that's legit.
What is your first pick?
I'll get mine out of the way. The one that I want to talk about the most, which is Mr. Foxglove. It looks really sweet. So this is 2 colorless, green, white, blue. It's like a fox rogue. There we go. 3/5 life link. Whenever Mr. Foxglove attacks, draw cards equal to the number of cards in defending player's hand minus the number of cards in your hand. If you didn't draw a card this way, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. And so I just really like this as a concept. This is going to be in the
You're building this.
Yeah. I got a bunch of cards together, ordered a bunch of other cards. But basically for me, if you can play enough cards to get your hand down and then draw back up to the highest mana cost, like that's kind of what's going on. I'm gonna have like a spell shaper themed deck at this point, and so that's like it's pay some mana, tap the creature, discard a card for whatever effect that the card gives. There's a lot of them out there, and I'll pick the ones that I like. And then also just like a lot of free spells have you like discard or exile a card from hand, and that's something else that's going to be going on. Free ramp, like. I think it's going to be a really wild deck. I'm excited for it.
The other thing about it is like, I like the angle that you're doing, but the cool thing is when you get commanders that you can have multiple angles. And I think This one could be the other way where you're getting a bunch of big stompy creatures in your hand and you always have more cards than everybody else and you're able to just play them for free. So I like that angle as well. So it's kind of cool that you have different ways of building this deck. So I think this one's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, so, and I do want to bring one thing up that I asked Zach about it this week, but I figured out. So if you're able to copy the trigger, so like a Strionic Resonator, and there's only like a couple more cards that really double that kind of an attack trigger in these colors, you would draw up to their hand, and then the second trigger would allow you to put a creature into play for free.
Nice.
So as long as you haven't cast anything or, you know, instant speed done something to reduce your hand size. So, but that I'm going to try and add those cards in as well. And that'll be kind of fun. But yeah, trying to draw a ton of cards, play a bunch of spells is what I'm going to be going for. There will be some large creatures, but we'll see how well they can like stay in the deck. I might not care about that so much.
Are you building that this week or?
No, probably next week. I have a CK order coming in. I want to get the cards, you know, that are so. Probably be next week.
Okay.
And this week we have Lug. We're going to be doing upgrades for the pre-cons.
Yep.
So there just ain't time for that this week.
Yep,
but
that makes sense.
I'm excited for Mr. Foxglove. It's going to be a lot of fun. I like cards that allow me to, or commanders that allow me to draw cards. So
sweet. All right, Mr. Foxglove. I kind of numbered. I have a few of them that I wanted to hit right away. So I'm gonna go. I think this one's gonna be kind of nice. Don's Truce. Did you have that one on your list?
I don't know. Oh,
it's like
I don't know why it went to like DON.
Oh, Don.
The Don's Truce. Like it was a mobster thing. All right, Don's Truce. Yeah, I did have this one.
This is the white version of Heroic Intervention. One colorless, one white instant. You can gift a card to somebody, so you may promise an opponent a gift as you cast a spell. If you do, they get to draw the card before the spell, other effects. Okay, so it has this originally. You and permanents you control gain hexproof until end of turn. Cool. If you don't need to, like, if somebody's targeting your stuff, you don't need the secondary part, so you don't have to gift somebody. But the secondary part is if you do need it, is if you gift a gift was promised, permanents you control also gain indestructible until end of turn. So I like this. I mean, it's not better than Heroic Intervention, but it's White's version of Heroic Intervention, you know, and you get to choose. Like I just said, like if somebody's targeting your stuff being like, I'm going to kill that and I'm going to destroy that, I'm going to exile that, and you don't have to worry about the indestructible part. You could just cast it and do the hexproof part, and then you're totally fine, you know. So, and even if you're gifting somebody a card, that's not that bad either. You know, I do, if that was the only thing we had, like compared to Heroic Intervention, it would be fantastic. Be like, yeah, hell yeah, you get a card and all my stuff is alive and protected. So I like this one a lot. And is it mythic? No, it's a rare. So it's a rare spot. So
it's a rare.
So yeah,
I agree. It's a really, really cool card.
Yeah,
but there are options to choose
in white. You're saying there's other things. Yeah.
I mean,
but
are you willing to pay one more mana and not have somebody draw a card to make your stuff indestructible? Because for me, the indestructible part is better than the hexproof part.
It'd be cool if it gave you the choice, you know, and then if you did the gift, then you get to choose.
You could choose
both.
the other.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. I do, but I think I'm going to use this a lot. Like this, because at the 2-drop, that does matter. You know, leaving 3 up feels like not a wasted turn, but it does in a way. You know, it's like you can do stuff with 3, but 2, you always leave 2 up. People are like, oh, counterspells, blah, blah, blah. Like the 2 is always left up for people. And so I think I'm going to be running this quite a bit. I don't think price-wise it's going to get crazy like Heroic Intervention, but I could see this creep up to $10 at some point. Not soon, because this is going to be in standard for what, 2 years now or whatever. It's like because they changed that format.
I think standard waits another year. It's like 3 now.
So yeah, this is going to be here for a while. So, but I like it. I think it's going to be fun. Like we typically do with our decks is we don't play counter spells. So anything that does protection stuff like this, I love it because that's my way of counterspelling stuff. So,
Mhm.
all right, Larry, what is your second card overall?
I think I'm going to go with this one. I don't know if you are picking any of them that are in the cycle, but these cards have a cycle of it. I'm going to go with Season of Loss, which is...
Hey, Bill, how's it going?
What's up, Bill from Woodbury?
Season-
So Season of Loss, which is 3 colorless, 2 black,
so
sorcery.
I knew that you were going to... I like all of these, but I didn't love them.
Yeah.
And I actually like this one the best. This was the only one that I almost put on my list. So I don't have any of the other ones. So if you want those, go for it.
I do like the
this one.
green, blue ones as well. Red and white, I was mid on. Like they weren't. But I do like the cycle.
So go
Season
ahead,
of
read
Loss,
it. Yeah, sorry. I interrupted
5
you.
mana black. Choose up to 5. Is that an acorn or a leaf
It's a
or
paw.
whatever?
It's a paw.
It's a paw's worth of modes.
yeah.
You may choose the same mode more than twice, but you essentially get 5 paws, and then one paw is each player sacrifices a creature. So if you so chose, you can choose that 5 times because it only costs you 1 paw.
5
Or-
for doing that, for making everybody sacrifice 5 creatures is pretty damn good. You know, we get cards that do that, but yeah, keep going.
And then you can pay 2 paws, draw a card for each creature you control that died this turn. And so that works really well with when you're
first one.
sacrificing
Yeah.
creatures. And then the 3 paws, which is each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creature cards in your graveyard.
So this to me seems so solid with like doing the 2 paw and then the rest you dump into each player sacrifices a creature, because then you're sacrificing 3 creatures and drawing 3 cards off of that.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what, when I was looking at it, I was like, that's the modes I would choose probably 90% of the time with this.
Right. I think that's the most utility out of how that would go, and I agree. But just think of like that
Towards
3
the end of the game,
in a
yeah.
Mothman deck
Yeah.
where everybody is milling a ton of cards. You got a bunch of creatures in your graveyard already, and you pay 3 and a 2, or a 3 and 2 1s. Hey, you're gonna each opponent's gonna lose a bunch of life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of maybe not a game ender, but that's sinking everybody quite a bit by 10, 15 life easy.
Right. Yeah. If you built a deck that's built around
Yeah.
that, that's crazy. But yeah.
So
No,
this is one I really liked. I'm gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna have fun with the green and the blue one as well if I ever get my hands on it and the prices become semi-reasonable.
Yeah.
But I like the cycle, and I think in the Discord what I said was like, this is very similar. It feels like energy, but really self-contained to a card, and you don't get the tokens or whatever. But it's like I like the balancing of this versus there's God darn it, left it. But like the commands, they're like choose 2.
right.
Or there's a version that allows you to do 3. Choose 3 things. And I like this because you can't choose the bottom one 3 times or twice.
Or twice. Yeah. Yeah.
But I really like the idea of being able to do, the first one 5 times.
Right.
Like
Well-
that seems really powerful in itself.
And if you're built on a deck that's more on sacrificing your creatures, you could do the second mode twice, and then the other one each player sacrifices, and then you sacrifice other stuff before this resolves, and you're drawing double for that. Like there's a lot to this one. This one I found the most interesting out of the 5. So yeah, I agree with that.
Same spot, but yeah, Season of Loss is a really cool card.
Yeah. Okay. What do I want to do here? I'm just trying to think of which ones you might take and that I won't be able to wait on.
I have 25 cards. You just pick whatever you want, and then
The hard part is
I'll
we
pick
talked
whatever I
about
want.
these on
got
Friday.
options.
Some of these on Friday. So like I like them a lot, but we just talked about them, so it feels weird. But I'll do the one that
I skipped those. Those were
you
the
did?
ones
You skipped
I
them?
deleted all those. That's how I got below 40.
So that makes it perfect for me to do this. Then I'll do the Bloodroot Apothecary. I like this guy a lot. We talked about it on Friday, but it's the squirrel. It's 2 colors, 1 green. Squirrel Druid, 3/3. It has Toxic 2, so whenever it deals combat damage, they get 2 poison counters. When it enters, you and target opponent each create a treasure token, and then whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-creature token, that player gets 2 poison counters. So this talked about on Friday again, but this shuts down treasure tokens. It shuts down clue tokens. It shuts down anything that has a sacrifice that's a token. Treasures are out there running wild, and I guess even food is more prevalent at this point. So this just hits across the board. So if your play group does a lot of treasures, this would be an auto include. And at the very least, it's giving you a mono rock, like you're getting, a treasure, not a mono rock. It's a sacrifice rock, but you get a treasure and they get a treasure. So you're at least getting something out of it. It's not if your play group isn't playing with a lot of treasures, but it also has toxic too. So whoever you gave the treasure to, if they don't have creatures, or you give it to the person that doesn't have creatures, you could get them down to, keep hitting them with this and actually kill them with this guy by itself if they don't have anything else for sacrificing. So I like this one.
I don't like where you picked it. How about that?
Well, it's not an
I think
order.
It's a good card.
It's just how I had it in order for me. And now that I know that you didn't pick any of the commander stuff, then I can leave the other stuff alone.
Now you can move it to the back.
Yeah. But I was already like, this is the one I was going to go with. And I'm like, all right, well, I gave away my hand by saying that I didn't pick any of the seasons ones that you did. So.
Oh, what's this price at right now? I thought I was seeing like something like 15.
It's at 10 right now.
10?
8 to 10.
Yeah, I like it. It's, it's a hate card.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me to spend that kind of money on a hate card. Like, I'd be a lot happier in that $4 to $6 range.
And I mean, it's
like when it comes to paying for that. But if you're getting the precons, that makes it easy for you.
Real Christian Ponder kind of pick is what Dad said. Thanks.
Makes you think. Huh?
I like this.
Hold on. Can we go ahead? Sorry.
Go ahead. Tell your joke. I'll get my second.
You know what I'm going to tell?
I know you're doing. Yep. Go ahead.
This is my favorite joke almost. Oh, but now I forgot it. Hold on. Give me a second. You talk, and I'll try and remember the configuration.
It's a Tim Tebow. Do you think?
Yeah, I know. Is that it? There's no punchline. It's just a one-liner.
Yeah, it's the.
Must be. Did you know when Tim Tebow thinks it's a Christian Ponder?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There we go. All right. Not as good anymore. Pretty out of place. That's a decade old plus.
All right. So so that is my third pick. I like it out of the commander stuff. It's probably one of. There's one more I like out of there that I'll probably take too. But yeah. Anyways, all right. So what is your third overall? Not overall pick, just your third pick.
I got a lot. I'm gonna go with that one because I'm gonna go with Lumra, Bellow of the Woods.
Oh, that's not on my list.
2 green.
Hang on a second. Luma.
Shush. You see Lumra, Lumra.
Lumra. Lumra. Yeah, I didn't take this one. It's garbage.
I love this style of card, but it's 6 mana, star, vigilance, reach. Its power and toughness is equal to the number of lands you control, and when an ETBs mill 4 cards, then return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. This has a lot of stuff that I like.
Landfall kind of thing. Kind of.
Right.
It's
right.
lands.
Just getting a land from your graveyard, having a huge creature. I mean, it's going to likely be, at least an 8/8, 10/10 for 6 mana. Vigilance Reach is always brutal. You want this kind of card to have trample like Multani. But I like the card. I like getting your lands back. Landfall, like you're saying, this is going to do a lot of work. I'm excited for this kind of card. It goes in my Zamon and Dina deck perfectly. It would go in Modrotha, not Modrotha. Mothman, really well. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like those self-mill kind of decks, those ones that really can fill up the graveyard with a bunch of random stuff. Decasia would have been really nice for this. This kind of card really calls to me, and I like a lot that it has going on for it.
I can dig it. And you're at about $8 at this moment, so it's doable. Okay. All right. I don't know what I want to do next. It's funny, we aren't getting any crossovers. I think I'm going to do this one. All right. I like this one a bit, but it's Rotten Mouth Viper. This reminds me of a Torment of Hailfire on a stick for me. Or not on a stick, on a creature. But it's 5 colorless and 1 black for a 6/6 elemental snake. As an addition to this, cast a spell, you may sacrifice any number of non-land permanents. This spell costs 1 less to cast. For each permanent sacrificed this way, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, put a blight counter on it. Then, for each blight counter on it, each opponent loses 4 life unless that player sacrifices a non-land or discards a card. So, Torment of Hailfire +1. So, Torment is damage, but it's 3 damage. This is 4 life. And it's whenever it ETBs or attacks. You can make this cost really cheap. I think this one's going to be kind of fun to play with. I don't know how much. Let me rephrase that. Is it going to be fun? I mean, it seems people don't like Torment of Hailfire very much. And I think this one, being a creature, it's easier to deal with, but right away, everybody either loses 4 life or they have to sacrifice something. So,
or discard a card.
Or discard a card.
So like that, I think the big difference here between this and Torment
is that Torment boom all at once.
Yeah. And well, in this you need to build up. Somebody can ramp out and get a lot more mana than they can permanents, non-land permanents. And then I think the other thing too is if you're trying to do a huge one, then and it fails, like you are also down.
What do you mean a huge one?
Because you sacrificed a bunch of stuff.
Oh, if you sack it to get it out there, yeah. I don't know. I think this one could be a lot of fun, just in a regular game. You know what I'm saying? Like as a 99, just like in a Mogus type deck where it's just kind of hitting people because it's a 6/6. I mean, if you sacrifice enough, any number of non-land permanents, so it doesn't have to be creatures and stuff. It can be anything else besides the land. So if you have other sacrifice outlets, for me,
I might have been thinking about it a little wrong. Yeah, it's
for me. It might fit in my Braids deck, because I'm all about trying to get people to sacrifice and all that stuff. But this is going to be doing a lot of damage with that. It's kind of multiplying what I'm doing in a way, not multiplying, but I'm saying it's doing a similar thing. It's having similar effects.
That deck doesn't need any help though. So,
and I don't mind sacrificing things. There's a lot of those. The enchantments that I put out are meant to come into play, draw 3 cards, and then you're supposed to discard. There's that one enchantment. Well, this I can sacrifice that to feed this little snake here. So, I think it's fun. I mean, it's not going to be crazy expensive, but I think this will be used a bit in Commander. So that is my 4th one. Yes, 4.
Yes.
Okay. What is
that really
your
should be
4th one?
Let's see here. Yeah, I didn't have that one.
We aren't.
I think
we aren't overlapping, man.
We don't overlap a whole ton. I think that one you're gonna pick. I think you like that one. That Rabbit Warrior.
I don't know what you're
Commander. I'm gonna go with Yagra, Eater of All.
All right.
YGRA.
You hit me on one of them. That was one I was going to be my next to talk about a commander because I think this one's kind of fun. There he is.
Well,
you snapped me.
3 colorless, black, green, 6/6 ward, sacrifice of food. Other creatures are foods, artifacts, in addition to their other types, and they can sacrifice themselves for food ability. Whenever a food is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put 2/1/1 counters on Yagra, Eater of All. Look,
that's crazy.
Really like this card. I'd build this if it wasn't so expensive. This one's over $10, right?
It's at 10, right at 10.
Is it 10?
Yeah.
I might end up building this one.
Well, and you got to give it this was pre-release weekend, man. This will drop as soon as people start actually.
We'll see. It's a pretty sweet card.
It is.
When I really like the effect when you can turn
everybody
cards into an artifact.
Yeah.
That just seems brutal. Now, thank God it's not red.
Right, because
with Vandal Blast.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that would be stupid. That's what I was kind of getting at. I think I was on Friday. I was talking about something similar with that. A different card we talked about. But yeah, this does. If you have red mixed in there somehow, this is like the 99.
Brutal.
Yeah, just silly. But you're still in black and green, which has enough artifact removal with green and stuff.
Yeah, black is pretty shit on it, but green has plenty of heat
for sure.
it.
Yeah, so this could be. I think this one's really interesting because of turning their stuff into artifacts. I like it.
Yep. Yeah. And I like these colors have great protection for your commander. Pretty easy, like that instant speed, and you got all your artifacts obviously too. But basically, like the ward part, nobody's really playing a food. They're not going to have a random ass food. Yeah. And so it's going to be a creature for them.
Yeah.
When they're sacrificing to that ward ability.
And then this gets a bump as soon as they sacrifice it, So it immediately turns into an 8/8 before they're even dealing with it, So if they're doing damage, you got to make sure you can do more damage to be able to target this and do all that stuff.
Like what would happen if they tried to go for a blasphemous act and you have a sack outlet? You're just like, well, I'll just sacrifice a couple of my creatures.
Well, they're also food, so if you have mana, you can just sacrifice them for life.
Oh, they are their own sack outlet. Yeah. That's a really good point.
Yeah, so you just broop, 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 just gets bigger and bigger. I think.
But I want to find some type of angle for the artifact part.
Right.
Like just saying like they are artifacts. That's sweet. But Wrench, You'll get to it before I do, so I hope to see a list in the Discord there. That'll be fun.
All right, so I guess I'll pick a commander. That was one of them that I had my eye on, but I'll do the one that I know the one that you were just mentioning. But I like it a lot. But it's Balin, the Haymaker. So this is actually going. With opening Tads. Oh, you guys should check that video out. I did open a collector booster for Tad. And pulled a raised foil Jace.
Oh, good for you.
And that's for Tad there. And then he actually, I need this for my deck. He's like, go ahead, put this in your deck. So that's not expensive anymore. It was like a $10 card before pre-release and all that, but now it's $1, $2, whatever.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
This is a cool card.
Yeah. Okay. So Balin the Haymaker, red, green, white for a 4/3 Rabbit Warrior. You can tap 2 untapped tokens you control, add 1 mana of any color. You can tap 3 untapped tokens you control, draw a card. Now, these are tap ability, not give them the tap symbol. So these can be done at haste. First turn they come into play. So if they're creatures, you can do it immediately. Yeah. And then you can tap 4 untapped tokens you control, put 3/1/1 counters on Haymaker, and it gains trample. I'm probably not going to use that one that much. It's more for the first 2. And it goes in any token type of deck. It's not creatures only. You could do it with your treasures. You could do it with your clues. You could do it any type of thing that has tokens. Mana production and drawing cards. This is just fantastic. And I think, isn't like Ginny Faye, I think that's the same colors too. So red, green, white.
Oh, yeah.
And then my Akiri deck is actually these same colors too. So this is going in my Akiri treasure deck. So it just fits.
So you're not going to build it, but this fits in a lot of your decks.
Yes. I don't think I'm going to build it, but it could. It could be kind of fun to utilize like different kinds of tokens with these 3 colors. Yeah. So I think it'd be still a fun deck, and it'd be different because you could do treasures, you could do actual creatures, you could do whatever you want with this. So
you could do it all.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different angles.
I was kind of comparing this to like Humana with a Merfolk deck. And this, I would say, is better. This is a better card. It's more wide open.
Yeah,
like you're saying, you can choose whatever tokens you want.
Right.
Maybe having a third color, I would like better than just 2 for green blue. Like it's a bigger creature and a 4/3. And it's just a rare instead of a mythic at this point. But it's that's a really cool card.
Yep. So this one's gonna be fun.
Agree.
All right. So that was my 5th pick. So where's your 5th card, Larry? 1, 2, 3. 4.
I think I'm just gonna be picking legends until I'm 3 of 4 right now that are legends. I'm gonna go with another one. It's gonna go Glarb, Calamity's Augur. GLARB.
RB.
This is a black, green, and blue 2/4 Death Touch Frog Wizard Noble. So Death Touch, you may look at the top card of your deck anytime. You may play lands and cast spells with mana value 4 or greater from the top of your deck. You can tap to surveil 2. I like playing from the top of my deck. Augur of Autumn is an amazing card. I like the I like that ability. Like you have that changeling that allows you to choose like a creature type to cast off the top. That generally does really well. It's in your Eldrazi deck.
Realm Walker.
Yeah. What's up, Cole?
Oh, Cole. God damn
Hashtag
it,
Team
Cole.
Force Walk.
Get the fuck out!
Get the fuck to bed.
And so I like surveilling is really cool. You just kind of empty stuff. Now the 4 or greater value, like that's a rough part, but just being able to play lands off the top of your deck from your command zone seems pretty good. So
I dig it. So would you do this
No,
No,
you don't.
Would you do this more of a landfall type deck then?
Would I?
I mean, what would be the angle of this one?
I mean, I don't know if I would say it's landfall, but it would be heavy ramp. So choosing stuff like Azusa Exploration, allowing you to play more lands,
right? But
from
what
the
I'm saying
top
is
of your
like,
deck.
what would the angle be on the deck? Like, what
Play
would
big
be...
creatures, stomp face.
Okay,
Why would you not want to do that?
that's the Lowry special right there. Growing up from when we were kids.
You don't have fun
Lowry
with that. What are you
special.
doing with Magic? Come on.
Hey Travis, how's it going? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, I dig it. You know, I'm gonna actually my next card. You just helped me get there because I'm gonna piggyback with this and make it so something that would work well with this card is Iridescent. Let's see if I can get this. Hang on. Iridescent Vine Lasher. I like this card. Where are you? There he is. This one came in later for me, but I was thinking about it more. But so it's a 1-drop, 1/2 Lizard Assassin. It has Offspring. So the Offspring again is 2, and this one you get an additional copy that's just a 1/1. So this one's a 1/2, the other one would be a 1/1, but it has all the other same stuff. Landfall, Lowry's favorite mechanic, evergreen mechanic, is whenever a land you control enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target opponent. I don't like that it's target opponent. But when you have 2 of these out there and you're playing fetches and you're doing 4 damage a turn, like that's kind of ridiculous. And it's black, so it fits in those decks that are landfallish. So like your Gitrog monster, the one that Lowry was just talking about with that frog. I mean, that's kind of, you could turn that into a landfall deck. They all kind of have a splash of black in there. Of course, green is our main guy for landfall, but black is also in the conversation when you're talking landfall deck. So this, I think, goes in every landfall deck. I don't think it goes in every deck, but I think it's being able to have 2 of these out for only 3.
You did steal this from me, you jerk.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So yeah, I dig this one a lot. It's cheap right now too. It's a couple bucks. So I just think that this one's I mean,
I was saying that it's just cheap to come out.
Well, yeah,
it's a
no,
good
I know,
card.
but it's still cheap for card wise too, and it's pre-ordered. We shouldn't really say the pricing unless it's the big ones because it's going to adjust in a week. You know?
Everything adjusts, as they become more popular.
But yeah, so this
back half,
I think, you know, if your play group, if you play a lot of fetches, which we do, and a lot of landfall kind of trigger stuff, you got to put this in decks. So this is going to be perfect in those. Hey, Savant, how's it going? Yeah, you might have to make a landfall deck now because of it. Yeah, so I like this card a lot. So that was my number 6. What is your number 6?
I'm going to go with... I don't know. I'm looking. They're all so cool. I might go with this just because I've been in a really big looting spot, but I'm going to go with Kitsa Otterball Elite. So Kitsa.
Kitsa.
So 1 in a blue, 1/3 Otter Wizard. I was trying to call it a Oddsard. It doesn't work. 1/3 Vigilance Prowess. You tap it to draw a card, discard a card, and then you can pay 2, tap, copy target instant or sorcery spell you control. You may choose new targets For the copy, activate only if its power is +3.
So you
3 or
cast
greater.
2 other spells, and then you can copy spells.
Yeah, or just put an aura or equipment on it. And it is a legend,
it is legendary,
which is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, I don't know what it is, but I really just like the looting on a cheap creature, especially with it being able to block. I love the fact that it has vigilance, so you can attack and do the looting right after that, or the copying the spell. This is a sweet card. I am a little surprised that it's a mythic, but it's probably going to be pretty good. So, but they've done a couple of legends that loot in the last couple of years. They're like Dominaria returned to Dominaria. That one had like Vogger or something, which was a blue-black looting card. Likeness Looter from Eldraine was really good. Rona lately was really, really good because that loots, but if you cast a legendary creature permanent, it'll untap and you can do it again. They've been really doing some cool stuff with looting lately, and I appreciate this card.
Gotcha. All right. I don't know where I want to go with this next one.
I'm just choosing all the legends, by the way.
I know. Well, you said that, but then you said
keep them.
You said that I stole Iridescent from you, so that wasn't a legendary creature. So
yeah, but I mean, you're right. I'm just not talking about the non-legends, but I might try and start talking about some other cards.
I'm going with Fountain Port is my next one, and I kind of dig that. I like lands. Yeah. I like lands, man. I do like lands. So it's a land. Tap it to give you 1 colorless. You can tap 2, sacrifice a token to draw a card. You can tap 3, pay 1 life to get a blue 1 or a blue 1/1 fish creature token, or tap 4, create treasure tokens. It's pretty straightforward. It's not expensive, but it does a lot. I mean, if you're playing, I'm talking about tokens and stuff, so that's why it's kind of in my brain. So I dig this one. There isn't much more I can say with it. It's making tokens. You can sacrifice those tokens to draw cards if you're not really doing anything in the beginning of the game. And you can get more ramp in there with getting your treasure. That's a lot to create a treasure. I mean, I really dug. We both did. What was the Dungeons and Dragons treasure land? What is it called?
Oh, Treasure Vault?
Yeah. But I put it in so many decks, and I've never used it to that ability, because it is XX. Yeah. So it's like you're not getting that much out of sacrificing a land for treasures that disappear after you use them. So
I've done it a couple times, and I'm only getting 2 or 3 treasures out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but
I think that XX really hurt that one. But with this one, it feeds itself, which I kind of like, because you can create the token, then you can sacrifice the token, you can create a treasure token.
I mean, it's a lot of work, but
right?
You're right.
Yeah, but I mean, sacrifice a token if you're in a token strong deck or token heavy deck. It's technically tapping 3 because you're tapping 2 and this to draw a card.
Yeah, true.
That's still not that bad. You do that a lot with other cards, but you are sacrificing a token. So I don't think this one's going to get expensive, but I just really like this with token stuff.
I was thinking that I like this one in Zerta, which reduces the activated ability cost by 2. Can't go lower than 1. So making a creature or a treasure token for 2 seems a lot better. And then
making a token for 1,
to draw a card for 1, or making a creature for 1 seem a lot better.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And give a lot of utility in that kind of deck. But
all right, what's your next legendary creature?
Actually, I'm trying to get away from it. I only have 3 more spots. So I'm gonna go with Dourport Mage. Dour. Robocop pointed this one to me, and was completely right. It is 1 and a blue, 1/3 frog wizard. Whenever 1 or more other creatures you control leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card, and then you can pay 1 and a blue, tap it, return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. So, I kind of like when you blink. That's when.
Yep. But it is only yours. So if you're targeting somebody else's, that you're not getting the the draw effect.
Right. So blinking works. Cyclonic Rift out there works for a lot. And I think this might trigger off of that.
Whenever one or more.
Yeah. It would see off of a Cyclonic
You'd only
Rift.
get one though.
Yeah. Well, you still get the fucking draw for Rift.
I mean,
so.
I just saying it's not for each one that pops back. But yeah.
That's true. And then you can control, like, you are returning like a dockside back to your hand or whatever for a ton of value. You can do that kind of stuff. So I just like, this is definitely not for an every deck type thing, but it works in my Genku deck that I just built. It would have worked in Essex, which was more of a blink style deck. Like, there's plenty of blinks out there. This is a great card, and it'll fit in a ton of decks in my opinion.
Yeah, I dig it. All right, I'm gonna hit another card that we talked about on Friday because this is the last one I want to talk about in the Commander stuff. But I think this one's a lot of fun. But it's the Perch Protection. So this is it's a lot of mana. It is a lot of mana, but it's 4 and 2 white for an instant. Give an extra turn as a gift, so you can give somebody an extra turn. If you do, first off, you create 4/2/2 bird tokens with flying. If a gift was promised, all permanents you control phase out until your next turn. Your life total can't change, and you have protection from everything. So basically, Teferi's protection, except it is Teferi's protection in a way, right?
Double the cost.
Right. But then you get the 4/2/2s and all that stuff. We talked about it in length on Friday. I think this is my favorite card out of all the Commander decks. I think this one's kind of fun. Like, this seems like you could do a lot of
that was just a big statement right there.
Well, out of the Commander decks. I mean, out of the new stuff of the Commander decks. You don't even have one on your list.
Statement. No, well, that's because we had already talked about it. So if you want a bunch of opinions on all the pre-con cards, go check out the videos from Friday or the last podcast if you missed that or whatever.
No one watches our other stuff. They only watch and listen to this.
This is just the podcast. I mean, it was just Friday's podcast, right? Right?
Touche. It was the podcast. Yep.
Right.
Anyway, so I think this one could be a lot of fun because you could. This is at instant speed, which is really nice, and you could give somebody an extra turn. We talked about, like I said, on Friday. You can get somebody to crack back if somebody's swinging out. It's giving you bird tokens, which I think is minimal. Like that isn't the biggest threat. I think it's more of, who am I giving this extra turn to? And my stuff can't change until my next turn. So even if you until your next turn. Okay, so you wouldn't want to cast this on your turn, obviously. So you'd want to do it like a Teferi's Protection, exactly. So so we have 2 Teferi's Protection ones, really overcosted, but I think you can do some shenanigans with this one. So all right, what is how many do we have now? 1, 2.
All right, you have 2 left. I have 3 left. This one, number 8 on my list, is going to be Sunspine Lynx. That's 2 colors, 2 red for a 5/4 elemental cat. Players can't gain life. Damage can't be prevented. And when it ETBs, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls.
I should put this in Magda for sure because I'm only in red. And just douchey. This is.
But like, these kind of cards are fun. Kind of hate on the non-basic land type players like me and Adam correctly for the most part. But it's doing a lot of work there. Like, people can't gain life. Extort gets a lot worse that way. It'd kill my Treebeard deck, my Tacit deck. It hurt me dramatically. So like, this is definitely a hate card. You shouldn't be paying a whole ton for it. Damage can't be prevented. So like, protection from certain colors get shut down in that way. This kind of hurts Teferi's Protection to a degree, even though like they can still take the damage. So if you have that commander damage, you can have your stuff go through and kill them in a commander way way.
Didn't it say that your life total can't change?
Teferi's Protection? Yes. But you're still taking the damage because this says that damage can't be prevented. So you're still taking
but your life doesn't change.
Damage that's happening, but it doesn't change.
Right. Okay.
So it's like I don't. So yes, this can be a solid card in that regard as well. But I think red does really well with like their land hate, and so I think this works in a lot of different ways.
I dig it.
So
I dig it. All right, so I got 2 picks left. I might as well get one of the big dogs. I think this one's. I don't know how much this is going to get played. Do I want to pick it?
I don't know. Is it the bird dragon?
Yeah, no, the bird, the moth thing that makes the toughness 1. I don't know if I want to do that one.
Oh, you could do that. I chose not to.
Yeah, and I don't know if I want that one.
It's a good card.
It is, but I mean, I'm never gonna play that card. But we've talked about that. I guess let me do an interesting one here. I don't think it's necessarily like amazing, but it does a lot for a card that's on an ETB trigger here. So it's Benza the Bounding Spring.
You son of a bitch. You definitely, that just stole from me.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, I had it pulled up. That was definitely going to be my next one.
All right. So this is 2 colorless and 2 white for a legend. Oh, I guess it is a legendary. I didn't think it was legendary, so I didn't think this was on your list. Legendary creature, Elemental Elk. It is a 4/5. But when it enters, you create a treasure token if somebody controls more lands than you. You gain 4 life if somebody has more life than you. You create 2 blue fish, 1/1 blue fish if an opponent has more creatures than you. And then you draw a card if an opponent has more cards in their hand than you. So there's so much value with this for a 4-drop. This is 4 and gets you all of these things. And if you have a way to flicker this, it's all ETB, so it's not cast trigger. I wish it had it on the attack too, like the Myriad, those angels that have Myriad that when they damage they do all that stuff too. Similar things.
Battle Angel of Tyr.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish this had that, but having it as an ETB effect, it's pretty nice. I like this card a lot. So you had this on your list? Is there more you wanted to say about this guy?
No, I just think it's a great like catch-up card. I like that it can be a legend in that regard as well. I do see this more of like a 99.
Yeah.
I
wasn't thinking of it that it was even a commander. Yeah.
And so like I like that it does a lot of stuff. There was an angel that did something similar, but they were just like a creature if you're behind on creatures and a life if you're behind on life. And I like that this does a lot more and it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Doesn't have flying, but it's not like fucking 6 mana either. So I do like it as an ETP, like a different variation on a lot of different cards at this point. So I think it's cool.
Yep. All right. Your second to last card. I got to figure out what I'm going to pick for my last one.
You got your last one? I'm going to go with Bone Cache Overseer. Bonecache. Bone Cache. 1 black, 1/1. Squirrel Warlock. Tap, pay 1 life, draw a card. Activate if only 3 or more cards left your yard this turn, or if you've sacrificed a food this turn. I think it's cheap. I think it works in every food deck that can have it. You know what I mean? You sacrifice a food, pay a life, draw a card. Really, really cheap and efficient. Also can work in those like Sir Conrad style decks or something that's bringing land back from the graveyard, like the,
for a 1-drop. The thing is it has to be built around in a way. You're not built, it's not
which
a
is
commander.
exactly how we build our decks.
Right. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it isn't in every deck. It's not like plugged in, and that's not how a lot of these are. Like, that's not. I'm just pointing out, like, it has to be in what you just mentioned.
It's a food deck for the most part, but food becomes more and more popular the more support they give it, and this is one of those support cards I really like.
Just kidding.
You're hungry. Just imagine that they're cheese curds.
Oh,
at State Fair.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's like a month away. I'm just getting a food boner right now. That's all I'm thinking about. I want cheese curds.
Cheese curds.
I dig this. With the food, and I don't know if we had the discussion in Discord, but I remember being like, This is garbage because the beginning part where it's like if 3 or more cards left your graveyard, and then that last part, sacrifice the food, then it does that as well. So I dig that part.
If you did, I missed it. I don't remember.
No, I remember looking at this, and maybe I just had this discussion in my head.
That's bad. Oh, better.
Yeah, it's not bad. All right, so for my last pick, shoot. You know, I'm going to go with a commander because I didn't do a lot of those, or I accidentally did one that I didn't realize was actually a commander. I'm not going to do Maha because, you know, it's just a mean card.
It's going to be good. Yeah, it's pretty mean.
Yeah, so it doesn't mean that it's not. Maha is a top 10 card, but we're not picking it. So just so people aren't pissed about that. But the infamous Cruel Claw. Let me get to it.
Ooh. Oh, all right.
Okay, so hear me out with this one. This was 1 colorless, 1 black, and 1 red. It has Menace. It's a 3/3. It's a Weasel Mercenary. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card by discarding a card rather than playing its mana cost. So, kind of like your commander that you were talking about, your Foxglove dude.
Okay.
I think this has a similar idea where you fill your deck with a bunch of really high casting cost creatures or cards. You know, it says non-land, so it doesn't need to be a creature. And then you could either do it with madness kind of things. So if you're discarding, you're able to actually play them. So you're discarding it, you're getting the card for free, you're paying the madness cost. So almost like you could, I know there isn't a lot of madness cards out there, but you could do something with this. And I think even just playing big fat creatures or big swinging artifacts, whatever, enchantments, I think that could work as well. You just fill your whole deck with just stupid stuff. I wish blue was mixed in here because then you could get a lot more stupid stuff in there. But then you're just playing them for free. It isn't going back to your hand. You just discard something, discard a land, discard something else that you weren't going to play, and then you play for free. You know, so and you could even do it with I like the madness idea. I like the recursion stuff from your graveyard. So there's a lot of different things you could do with this. So I think this one could be kind of cool. Menace gives you evasion already built in on your commander. You could. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to say. Double strike on this guy because it's when it deals combat damage, so you're doing it twice. So there's a lot of things you can mess around with this guy. I don't think I'll build it, but I think it'd be kind of fun. I think it's an interesting card.
I mean, free spells are not a bad choice generally.
Yeah, so
that's kind of a little bit what will is anyway for you, right? Like just fucking cheap spells.
Yeah,
but free spells can get really, really out of hand. So, especially if you start setting up what you're going to be getting with
top or
scroll rack or top, or just any tutors. Not that you would do that in Magda deck
exactly.
or anything. But yeah, cards cool. I agree.
Yeah. All right, Larry, what is your last pick here? Are you doing a legendary creature? Is another legendary?
What did I pick? I found it. Oh no, maybe. I stopped looking because I got there's a lot of legends in this deck, right?
There is.
Or in this set. Which one did I want to do? I don't know. Maybe I'll just do this one because it's a funny pairing. The Bird Dragon, Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest. Let me write that down.
I looked at this one. That's all I did.
All right, so Dragonhawk, Fate's Tempest, 3 colorless, 2 red. It's a 5/5 flying bird dragon. Whenever it enters or attacks, exile the top X cards of your deck, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater. You may play those cards until your next end step. At the beginning of your next end step, Dragonhawk deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of those cards that are still exiled. So I like that it will at least trigger once.
Yep.
Because of itself, it's an ETB and an attack trigger. It doesn't have to deal the damage. That's basically some card advantage. and if it doesn't work for you, you're dealing damage.
Am I thinking about this right? That let's say you cast it, and let's say you exile 2 things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't cast them. Deals 2 damage. It does 4 damage to each opponent. Your next turn those are still exiled under it, right?
Right.
So that counts for that. You won't be able to play those again. Like you can only play those that turn.
No. Says
you
until
may play those cards until your next end step.
Yeah.
So you can't play those, but they're still exiled under it, right? So then let's say you attack again and we get 2 more. So now you have 4 that are sitting under it. Is that right? Like, or did the exile just go away? You know what I'm saying? Beginning of your end step, next end step deals 2 damage to each opponent for each of those cards that are, because it almost seems like it's referencing the cards that hit that turn. So
that we're still exiled. Yeah.
So I don't think it would.
That'd be crazy if that kept
going. Yeah.
Counting everything. I am not sure.
Anybody in the chat, if you guys know the ruling on this, if you does Scryfall have it? They don't yet.
Because it doesn't put it into the yard or your hand or whatever. They stay exiled. Yeah. They would still be exiled.
It's just the sentence, the wording of it for each of those cards that are still exiled. So it makes it feel like it's referencing the stuff that hit there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say either way. But
either way, it's still
that would be crazy if it keeps on just gaining stuff. That
because then you just exile and you just keep stacking it up, and it's just like, okay, well that was 4 damage.
That'd be wild. If
Now
that does, this is a crazy ass card, right?
Yeah. So I'm guessing it doesn't because I think the price would be a little bit higher, maybe.
Right. I think it's referencing
the cards that
when you can be dealing the damage.
Yeah.
Like the cards that were last removed.
Turn. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I like this.
That would be what I'm thinking.
In general, if you're playing, it's in all the Dragon decks. Any of Dragon deck has this in there for sure. Because that's your surround damage, and you're probably going to have not damage, but I mean card advantage as well. There's a lot of stuff going on there. So, I dig it. All right,
it's doing stuff.
Yeah,
I wish it was 2 colors.
Yeah, because then you could build around it. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Red's fine, man. I like red.
I know you do. But what am I?
Was that a little kid like comeback joke? Like, I know you are, but what am I?
Yeah.
Nice.
Did it work?
All right. If there is anything that you guys thought we missed that you think should be on the list, definitely let us know.
Other than Maha, we get that Maha.
This is good.
Oh,
we just didn't want to pick it. Like it's
bunch of dickheads out there.
But please put that in the comments below. Also, if you're watching this right now, please give this a like. That does help us more than you know. I know you hear every video and give it a like. It does help. It helps if you like our channel, if you like what we're doing. The liking helps out the most. Well, besides subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet, well then you're just crazy. That's what it is. But the liking helps us for those of you that are already subscribed. So hey, how's it going, Scott? Hey, your favorite game's coming up here in a little bit, buddy. All right, so that will do it for the wait. What was it, Lowry? Can you do it again? Because you said it's been years since you've done it.
Well, now it's only been like an hour, but top 10 commander cards. There's Bloomburrow set. Recons.
There's a reason
special
why
arts.
It's been years since you've done it.
Why don't you let me do stuff?
That was good. All right. So, as you can see by my shirt, that's what I did last night. Woo!
Foo Fighters.
The Foo Fighters. Yeah. So
Foo Fighters.
Took the boys to the Foo Fighters. Man, dude, we got lucky because those storms, and I'm sure you saw the storms last night.
Oh, yeah.
They blew up all around except for on us. I mean, it downpoured, but the lightning wise, you could see it in the background, but it never was like right over the top of us. So it was.
How late were you out?
We didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. You did get lucky.
Yeah.
For sure.
So right after Pretenders got done, which I didn't realize I knew any Pretenders songs, but there's a lot of them. I was like, oh shit, that's an old school. That's like from the 80s or whatever. Well, the gal is 72 years old and just rocking out. Like that's the freaking A. But anyways,
as one does,
they ended and then it just downpoured like big ass drops for probably 15 minutes, and then Foo Fighters came on a little bit later.
Good point.
What was that?
K1's pointing out that if
yeah.
you're into the secret layers that we talked about already, Monty Python sold out in an hour and a half. The foils, and
that's a record.
It went real fast.
Yeah,
it was
insanely quick, and I mean it makes sense. Monty Python, we called it. We said, I think this is going to be faster than Hatsune Miku because this is Magic players genre. You know, like they kind of almost go hand in hand right there. So yeah, that sucker sold out quick. I started listing pre-sale stuff, and that already is selling out. Like this is a popular one. So people that missed out. I mean, I got on and got my order placed, but I'm like, okay, I want this amount and this amount and this amount. Okay, go to checkout, and it was like over an hour wait. Like, did you get over an hour? Were you over?
It did say over an hour. It took me about 35-40 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's about the same for me. So yeah, it was really with the secret layers. If there's stuff that you like, you gotta plan it out.
Right away.
There's plenty of people in Discord that made plans or even took the day off to get this one because they really wanted Monty Python, and really that's what it is. If you like what the drop is, make it a part of your priority of getting it. I know everybody has jobs and stuff like that, but work it out. Like if you can't make it, maybe work out somebody else to buy it for you or something like that. So it's just kind of what it is now. So but yeah, so Foo Fighters, we took the boys to the Foo Fighters. This is our second time going. They went, which is crazy. They went 4 years ago to to Milwaukee. Zeke was 3. Like, I didn't realize that, but he was 3 years old and Drake was 5. So Drake, being the oldest, was still younger than what Zeke is now, being the youngest. You know, if you know what I'm saying, like, 'cause Zeke's 7 now. And so it was like, I can't believe that we brought, I mean, it's cool, but it's crazy but it made sense why we didn't stay through the whole concert the last time. This time they were rocking out the whole time. So it was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
And you've seen them before. I've been with you. Yeah, you were my bodyguard. I tell that story all the time with you. I was getting all mad at those teenagers because they were mosh pitting, and then you did the whole stand there and blocked it because I'm just like starting to get rage. Like, I'm going to kill some kids. I'm about to kill a kid. And then you were they were bouncing off of you, landing on the ground. Was that the only time you saw the Foo Fighters? That one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a weird person. I don't really like live music a whole ton. I have a really hard time hearing.
Yeah.
So,
and it's really loud. So it's like,
I don't know if it's just like my brain doesn't take it in, or like it's taking in too much. Like, and so it just doesn't sound enjoyable to me. So
I can see that. Well,
and a lot of people don't. It's like, I know where some people are like, yeah, you feel the crowd, it's going awesome, and I'm like, I don't like all these people. Yeah. So it's that is also not like
that's not
a
your
gay factor for me.
Yeah.
So
well, that was I think
it was enjoyable. That concert was awesome, but it also.
Well, that was I was gonna say, I think that's the last time we were in the standing room only, because I got so annoyed. You know, we have been when we did like beach festivals, but that is a completely different vibe. Like, everybody's stoned, so no one's mosh pitting. Everybody's just chill, man, and it's a different vibe.
Well, they also weren't moshing for Foo Fighters either. When I was there with you, they're moshing at Rise Against, right? Which it was much more of a kind of why I was there, but a younger demographic as well. So
yeah. Scott is asking about the Malort stuff. Do we want to announce that yet? Like, or do we want to wait? What the plan is?
Oh, we can. Let's talk about it. Hold on, let me do my thing real quick. I did 8-year anniversary.
Oh yeah, congratulations!
Yeah, wait, thank you, wifey.
Oh, good for you.
At least that long. So you make it happen.
Nice. Aww. She'll never listen to this, so
she'll never hear it, and that's fine. That's how I like my compliments.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, well, does it actually make a noise? Is your wife? She doesn't even know.
It does make a noise. It just isn't accepted. All right. Do we This is a suggestion from somebody on Instagram. I hope I'm saying it right, but Sean McCluskey is our current enemy. He is frenemy. I guess we could say that. But it's essentially Malort and Spam.
Well, yeah, we're gonna do okay.
And we need to, and it's eating the Spam.
Okay.
That has been what is it called when it sits in that?
It's like not fermented, but it's like the pickled, where you put it in there and it's.
It could be a pickling. Yeah, I was thinking more of like when you like.
Yeah, it sits in there. So okay, so
yeah,
the idea is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna change this up. And it's gonna change monthly. I think is how we're thinking. Is we will get a small jar, enough for maybe, I don't know, what do you think, like 2 shots, 3 shots in that jar of Malort.
3 shots, yeah,
of Malort, and then the first one is going to be from the listener suggestion. We'll do Spam, okay? It'll change. That will change as we go on to different things. We'll cut chunks up big enough so it's not just like the little nibbles, but we will drop. Might be an improvement, Mr. Anderson says. But we'll put those in to ferment in there to just sit in the Malort, and those will be the things that you guys can buy for us to take. And then the big thing is that juice, that Malort
marinade. Thank you.
There we go.
Marinade.
Yes.
Fuck.
That marinated Malort with the Spam or whatever food we end up doing, that will also be in play. But those are going to be the big shots. So that'll be like the $15 whatever. But there'll only be 3 of them in that jar. So it's only 3 shots. And then however many pieces we decide to do on this.
That fits in there. And I think that, number one, it works for us because then we're not setting it all up and mixing it, even though that is
pretty funny.
Hilarious, terrible spot. It just takes too long.
It was too hard. That coconut thing was just like, it was disgusting. But then also the thing is like, we do have fun doing the podcast and having a couple drinks and stuff like that, but sometimes it can get really, really sloppy. And so we don't want always like Malort. So this is a way of still having the Malort in play and being very like almost worse. This is going to be worse. This is definitely
Scott's asking if this is a paper chunk. No, this is a Malortometer thing. So
is that
everybody has like, it's right. Is that what we're doing? Right.
Oh, I was thinking I thought it was doing per chunk. So we would have like let's say we cut it like a circular hot dog, cut not a full hot dog, but a little
that's
slice.
Just going to be a lot of fucking work. I think if they just reach a certain amount of money that everybody can pitch in together, then we just do the whole thing during the show.
See, we're doing an on-air production meeting here.
We are.
I think people like they spend the money and they aren't necessarily on when we're all the time,
Oh, that's a good point.
So I think
so are we just killing the Malortometer idea?
Yeah, I think the Malortometer will be gone and it's back to the shot stuff.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and so then you can pay the 15 and we take the marinade of Malort, or you can pay 5 for the pieces of whatever. And then once we're out, then we'll think of the next thing. We'll probably get suggestions of what food we should put in there. So yeah, that's going to be, I'm worried a little bit because I could take drinks, like that's fine. I can take gross drinks. But me and food, like seriously, there's some foods that I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I'll do it, but there's going to be some tough ones where it's like, and I don't like puking.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. We have to drink the marinade, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have to drink yeah. The marinade is going to be the more expensive part of it all. So that's going to be the $15 shot. So that's what's taking over just regular Malort shots.
Great.
We're bored with just Malort. I mean, it's terrible by itself, but let's add let's make it worse. And maybe it does. Maybe there's certain things that we put in there where it's like, oh, this is actually not that bad. So we'll have to start like getting suggestions of food that would be good to marinade.
Potatoes for you.
Oh yeah. See, exactly. Potatoes would be awful. I would fucking
That'd be fine.
It would be terrible.
It'd be fine.
It would be awful.
Uncooked. Raw potatoes.
No, what would be worse for me is like asparagus or broccoli or cauliflower.
What the fuck is wrong with asparagus and
Just
broccoli?
fucking gross. Oh,
I don't think. Are we
pickle.
letting them even? You can throw out suggestions, but I don't know if we're willing to just absolutely accept
Right. There's certain things.
anything that you say.
Right.
I want marinated poop.
Like the final, yeah, exactly. The final amount.
You need to put wet shoelaces in there.
I might die.
Right.
Yeah, this is yeah. So this is gonna
I've
be.
had terrible friends in my life, so I understand where this could go, and I don't want it to be there.
Garlic cloves. All right,
I'd be down for that.
I could do that.
I'm all right with that.
But
it's gonna be bad, but
we gotta think too of the Malort would taste interesting. The garlic cloves, I don't know how much that would absorb the Malort. You know, so you almost want to.
And honestly, that would just eating garlic cloves Malort would be awful. That'd be real bad.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Pig's feet. No, God. All right. So we are going to start getting suggestions, especially if you're in the Discord and stuff, we're going to probably start writing that down.
Pig's feet does get pickled. So like that can be a legitimate thing. I just don't know if we know how to eat it. Like I've never had it. I'm assuming you've never had it.
That doesn't sound like something oh my God. Okay. We might be opening up a can of worms that we can't put it back in. This is going to be bad. Like, I'm kind of dreading what's going to happen. And we might come down to like basically making a vote. Oh, hell no, not Rocky Mountain.
No, we're not doing
bull balls.
Bull nuts. Nope.
I tricked my brother into eating those when we were in Colorado when we were kids because I told him they were chicken nuggets. And I mean, they looked like it. They were battered. And he's like, "Well, these are good." I was like, you just ate bull balls."
Oh, he liked it though?
Yeah, he did. He thought it was chicken nuggets.
Weird.
Oh, no, come on. What are we doing here? Pickled eggs would be good.
Pickled eggs. I was just thinking a hard-boiled egg in there would be interesting.
Gummy worms and Malort. That could be interesting.
All right. So we got some good ones. Some people aren't looking to kill us.
Yeah. So
how about we can work with the person, who paid the most? I don't know. We'll work with everybody on the Discord. So if you want to be a part of it, Discord, we'll be good to go there.
And you can even suggest on videos. You can shoot comments too. So I do want to hear a bunch of them. I'll start writing down things, and then we'll end up putting like 4 up and have that go for voting for a week and see what you guys think. So like Lars said, we're not going to do poop. Like just don't. Nod off the bone. What is that? Like you put a bone in there?
Like somebody nodded off the bone and then spit it into the Malort? Is that what we're doing? That's just ribs, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So this will be interesting. I think this is going to be better than what we were kind of doing with stuff. We've been doing Malort for what? 2.5 years?
2.5 years sounds right.
Yeah. So we've been trying to figure out a way to spice it up. At the same point, not killing our liver with this awful Malort. Right. So this is a way of making it fun for you guys. And
the mixing part just took too long. Yeah. Like I think that was the downfall.
I think it was a good idea, but it's like it's just too much. So what is that?
Durian, I believe, is like the smelliest awful fruit.
Isn't that dragon fruit?
No, that's dragon fruit.
Oh, dragon fruit. Yeah,
dragon fruit is pretty like tasteless, smellless. It's just pretty. Durian is like a jackfruit. Is that the different name?
Oh, there is one that's really smelly. My old neighbor was trying to get. When I told him we were doing Malort stuff before, he's like, "You should do this on there." I was like, "No," like it's like that might be what Red Shies. He probably just Googled it to find what the worst smelling thing was, and that's how he came up with that.
He already has it pulled up for Savant here coming up anyway.
Oh, shots fired. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that'll be coming here. I don't know. We haven't discussed when we're going to start that, but pretty soon here. I think we're still getting over the summer vacations.
Thanks a lot. Yeah. It was a great idea. It has parlayed into a lot of different things. So really appreciate that suggestion.
Yep. This is going to be, I think it's a great idea. So, all right. So yeah, I think we'll just get to the tag stuff. So you guys, speaking of supporting us, you can support us by doing all that stuff with the Malorts and all that. When we get to that going, that is actually financially supporting us. I've mentioned before, any money-wise that goes into the show goes that you guys give to us or donate or become a patron and all that stuff just goes right back into the show. So even the merch stuff, that all just cycles right back in. We have some goals of getting some cameras here soon so we can get some games going in real life stuff. So basically, you guys supporting us, any money, any shots, anything there just goes right back into things. So that is another way you guys can support us, is by becoming a patron. Gets you into the Discord. $1 or more gets you in there. That's gets you chatting. You can get proxies. $5 or more gets you that. You can get foil proxies. You move up on that. And I think the other thing I mentioned, the commandersmiths.com, it's still up at this moment. We will be changing the location of that. So that is where you can find like Lowry's mug that he has, or the mug here, or Lowry's shirt. Do I have another? We have metal tokens. I don't have one near me right now. So that also supports us. And they can follow us a bunch of different places. We have Instagram, TikTok. We are on YouTube, which you're probably watching us there. And I guess, no, I'm not even going to mention X, because really, we don't do anything. Yep, 5. What? 6. You're just doing numbers. Count. But you can direct message us by either shooting us. That was where I do the Stump the Smith Savant. So you guys can direct message me for this next part. No, why am I doing that? Let's get to Stump the Smith Savant. Ready? Should we do it? Think you good? You good to go? All right, let's move on over. Then we can get going. Blue cheese and Malort. Ew! Ew! That'll be gross.
Ow.
Ew!
That's the Jimmy Fallon. Ew.
Yeah.
That whatever that is.
All right, here we go.
It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant.
All right. If you guys don't know how this game works, I'm going to read the flavor text of a card. And Laura's going to try to guess the card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes, he'll hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no, he'll hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He gets up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he'll get the initials. If he still has a clue left over, he will get a bonus clue, which should help give it away. The card has to be at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. What else? The first 3 weeks, we do a foil proxy that we give away. Right now, it is the foil Gaia's Cradle, like I mentioned before, proxy. And we added the Black Market Connections in the foil etched. Now, here's the big twist. Thanks to, I should show this too. Tommy Olson signed the Bloodsworn Steward that Lowry did not get stumped on. So Lowry, I'll get this to you this weekend when I see you. So that is, if you don't stump him, you can sign a card or basic land, and it goes on the wall. You can see behind Lowry there. Mine is over here on mine that you can't see in frame at the moment. But when we get to level 3, which includes right now, if we get to level 3, we're just getting to level 2. Every 3 weeks we add a card, so that whatever. Level 3 will be Ragavan in this sweet order from the, what was it? Which one was that? This is from the March of the Machine, right?
Yeah, it's like the Multiversal Legends or whatever.
Yeah. So this is a non-foil, but this sucker's a $30 card. So this becomes in play when we reach level 3. So you should get your entries in just so your name can get drawn if you can potentially get in that 3, because you'll not only win this, but you'll win the level 2 and the level 1 stuff. So that is, thank you so much again, Tommy, for donating that. That is, that's awesome. Appreciate you as a listener and everything there. Okay. I think that's it. Record-wise, you are 99-33. If you win today, you break 100. 100 wins. This is week 4, and as I mentioned, Tad Copper the Dog, aka Copper the Dog, is our stumper for this week. All right, and here we go. To hear them tell it, they changed barehanded into new Phyrexia. Oh, charged. Sorry. They charged barehanded into new Phyrexia and beat up Elish Norn all by themselves. It's funny. I was reading it and I could see your head twitch. And I was like, oh, I read something wrong. Oh, there's the word. And we did change it. There is a timer. A 20-minute timer that we have now added, and that will begin now.
All right, so to hear them tell it, they charged barehanded into new Phyrexia and beat up Elish Norn all by themselves. Knowing Tad a little bit and what his choices are, I mean, it's probably Aftermath, where they portaled into new Phyrexia to go after Elish Norn. That'd be with like Elspeth and other planeswalkers and shit like that. It could be a Mirrodin set, obviously, but she lost. Elish Norn lost in Aftermath. So is this Aftermath?
Hello, boobies.
you got him back.
All right. It's going to be trouble then.
And by the way, I did eliminate the chat so chat can play along to see if they can get it before Lowry gets it. So just...
All right. So set is Aftermath. March of the Machines. Aftermath. Great. Awesome. Really looking forward to that.
You keep saying you need to go through those cards.
I do. I'll keep on saying it. The problem is that I don't listen to myself very often. Let's go with to hear them tell it. This is coming from a individual. They charged barehanded into new Phyrexia and beat up. So this is probably a creature, but is this a permanent card?
Hello, boobies.
I'll take a first clue, please.
The art features ghosts at a victory meal. One of the ghosts is raising the helm of a fallen foe.
So the shitty thing is about this set that it has like 3 or 4 different arts in the set alone.
That is right. Well, yeah, you're right.
I do have a thought on what it is, though. The problem is going to be the name and what it does. But I believe, is this an enchantment?
Hello, boobies.
Oh.
Black, white.
Oh.
Hello, boobies.
Now, what the shit does it do? I do like this one. I did get this one in foil.
I can't hit. Oh, yeah, I can.
Oh, good for you.
But I mean, it's cheap. It's not a good for you. It is an uncommon.
Yes. Hang on. I got to get back to the buttons. Shit. Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
Hello, boobies.
Oh, I'm going to need those initials for sure. I'm trying to think. It's either like, I think it's like, has something to do with like +1/+1 counters. It might have some type of trigger when something dies or at the end of turn. It might even have a sacrifice effect on it as well. Let's see there. Can I get a second clue, please?
You're going to get a lot of that here. The text features end step triggers, life gain, and 1/1 counters.
That was close. I was in there.
Oh, Renshai has the initials. Somebody else can give me what the name is.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking tough. I'm trying to think of what it's the end trigger is something from like Aether Revolt or Kaladesh, where it's like when a permanent leaves the battlefield at the end of turn, something happens. But I can't remember that term. I don't know if it's even an ability on there. Can I hear the second clue again, please?
The text features end step triggers, life gain, and 1+1 counters.
That's a tough one. That's gonna be a tough one. Everything after that. So I know it's an enchantment. I know it's black white. I know. That's kind of about it, right? It's uncommon, but that doesn't matter. Aftermath, we know we're there. Can I hear the first clue, please?
The art features ghosts at a victory meal. One of the ghosts is raising the helm of a fallen foe.
The helm of a fallen foe?
Mm-hmm.
The helm?
Yep.
One more time.
The art features ghosts at a victory meal. One of the ghosts is raising the helm of a fallen foe.
And I was just trying to figure out why did I had the picture of in my head of like the ghost holding up like a mug cheering, and then when I heard helm I was like, where the fuck did I get like a mug of mead in their hand or whatever? And then they're at a
victory meal
feast, a victory feast or whatever. Okay, so could be like a revelry, could be some type of cheering. Hear them tell it. They charged barehanded into New Phyrexian, beat up Elishnorn all by themselves. A helm? Golly, I don't know. More than likely they're holding up a Phyrexian helm of some sort. We know it's black-white. We know it's doing something with... Can I hear the second clue again, please?
The text features end step triggers, life gain, and 1+1 counters.
Shit. That is a tough one. This one's going to be kind of vague, so it's not really answering anything, but does it have something to do with a creature dying or leaving the battlefield for the end step trigger?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. I don't remember the life gain. I don't remember the counters. Revelry, that seems very right. Does one of the words in the name of the card start with R?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
I want to say it's like two words up there. We're at 12 minutes left. Not doing too bad. Let's...
I don't think the third clue is going to help you because you kind of got it all.
Yeah.
So if you can get the bonus clue, we got to kind of figure out what is all going on with the actual card.
Yeah, that's the thing is... So let's go with like that first part. Like, let's go with the wording like, at end of turn, if a creature died under your control.
Hello, boobies.
Well, not necessarily under your control, I guess, but a creature died.
Okay.
I don't know if I can give you that one or not.
That's all right. We can give it a no. I was hitting
yes as you were, and then you added that little last part, and I was like, oh shit.
Yep.
Okay, so you got basically what the the creature dying part, what's the life gain part, and what's the 1/1 counter part. That's all you need.
Yeah, that's... Let's say... Attached. Continuing that, if a creature died this turn, you get to put a 1/1 counter. Two-parter on a creature or all your creatures. Is it one of those? Is what I'm going with.
God, this is so. Repeat what you're saying there. 10 minutes left, by the way.
So, all right. I guess that's just kind of the decision. It has to be one or all, and more than likely at 2 mana, uncommon. It's going to put a 1/1 counter on a creature.
Hello, boobies.
And gain a life.
It's
Hello, boobies.
I don't know how to get you to get to the right.
Pip something a little bit more.
Yes. There is with the gaining the life in the counter, but there's one thing that matters with that. It isn't just one. It depends on something else. Let's see. Let's try not to confuse you more. There's more of a quantity issue.
Okay.
Yes, Scott, that is the thing I'm looking for.
Tell me, Scott. All right.
So you have the right thing with creature dying, gain life, and a 1/1 counter. There's something with that is dependent upon something else. A quantity thing.
Okay. I don't think it can be for each creature that died. You can do that. That seems really good for an uncommon at 2 mana. So it still has some sort of restriction. Is it for each opponent that had a creature die?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
So 2 wrong?
3 if we count that one where I gave you a yes and then you added the little part.
Okay. So it's not each opponent, it's numbers issue. It's gonna be funny because it's probably not even the card that I'm thinking of. That's in my head. It has to be that card though. It's just I'm thinking of a different art. I think I want to say that those characters are from like Eldheim or something.
6
like
minutes left.
Golly. For each creature that dies?
Hello, boobies.
That's what you needed. All right, so I'm going to say what it actually says just so it's not confusing. Like, it's at the beginning of your end step. If one or more creatures died this turn, you gain that much life and distribute that many 1/1 counters among creatures you control. So for a 2-drop, it is that powerful. Like,
yeah.
Okay, so you got 5 minutes to figure this out. You do have a bonus, but it's FOTVD.
TBD?
Nope. FOTVD. FOT is in time.
T?
V is in Victor. And D is in dumb. It'd be funny if I said the word. I almost did.
That would have been funny.
And because you are in a time constraint, the F, because you get the bonus clue, is a synonym for a meal, like with a bunch of people. The V is actually in the first form of the word that I used in the first clue. And the D is what ghosts are. They aren't alive. Okay. So let me read the first clue so you can hear all this again. And because you have 4 minutes. The art features
Feast of the Valhalla Dead?
No.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
No. You got one more. So let me read that again. So remember I said the F is a synonym for meal. The V is in this first clue, partially in this first clue. And the D is ghosts that aren't alive. All right, so here's the first clue. The art features ghosts at a victory meal. One of the ghosts is raising the helm of a fallen foe.
Is V victorious?
Hello, boobies.
Of the?
Hello, boobies.
Dead?
Hello, boobies.
What's our F? You got one. If you get it wrong,
All right. That seems the most likely. But I've already said it, but I'm doubting myself at this point. It makes the most sense.
2 minutes and 30 seconds.
No. The Feast? Feast of the Victorious Dead?
Hello, boobies.
You got it.
Jesus.
You're right, dude. Look at the he's cheersing there. You got it there. He's drinking there. And then you have this helm here. Which might Elish Norn, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that looks like it.
Or would it be Elish Norn's head?
I don't know if it'd be Elish Norn's head. I don't know if you'd give it to a bunch of dead people, but
because then you got the also,
that was tough.
Yeah,
that was tough. I got lucky that I knew the card. That's the one that I have.
Yeah, that's the one you have.
So that's what I had in my head, and I was like, well, I don't.
That version.
That is a lot going on for 2-minute uncommon.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. When you said it, you're like, for 2, there's no way that it's for each creature. It was like,
yeah.
You had your eyes closed, so then I made a face. I was like,
terrible.
Yeah. All right, Tad, get that MFer signed or get those 2 signed and bring it up this weekend. I'm sorry, buddy, you didn't get him. I know. He got. I got to give him hints there, but that was hard, man. When you have a FOTVD, it was just like, geez, this is ridiculous. So, Lowry, are you going to do some homework on some Aftermath at some point?
I guess.
Because Tad is just, speaking of, I should do a drawing name.
Just spamming Aftermath here.
Yeah, every card is, it's funny that you said it, and then that was your first guess. You're like, is this an Aftermath card? Yes. Yes, it is. Right.
Well, I mean, it does make sense. Oh,
Right,
that's why you didn't choose this one, because you go with the art with the flavor text.
Yeah, because there's no
So-
flavor text to that one, so I had to go with that.
That makes a ton of sense.
That little guy. All right. So, well, he can't win his own card, but Tommy Olson he got his name drawn. I was like, oh, shit. Okay, because you still have one more week.
All
So,
right.
Tommy, if he is the next week's stumper. So that was for each creature. Yeah, okay. So I was just reading everything there. All right, guys. I think that'll be it. That's a wrap there, right? And what do we have this week?
That's
You
it.
said we got upgrades. You got some
Recon upgrades.
You got CK order that you're going to be opening up at some point.
That'll probably be next week.
Oh, okay. All right.
Assuming.
Cool. So we got upgrades. We don't know exactly what day yet. We have to kind of figure that out, but sometime this week. So, all right, gang, that should do it for this week. We will catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
See ya.
I love boobs.
Thanks,
I'm
Scott.
talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers. I love boobs. Thanks for the memories. I love boobs.
Come on. Where's my button? Where do I go? There.
Hey, Meat Force, could you kindly tap the like and subscribe button? And if you're ever in the mood, head on over to commandersmiths.com and you can get the shirts and mugs you see on the screen and some other stuff. Thank you.